My dear family, I want to encourage you to live your lives for Jesus. He's the only one who can teach you and lead you into God's plan for your life. When God made you, he made you for a reason, and you can only discover that reason through Jesus, and you can only experience it in fellowship with him. Let me tell you what it's been like for me to walk with Jesus. He's so much better than I ever knew. Every day he reveals something of his goodness, of his humility, and of his love. He's never let me down even though I failed him, and he's never turned me away even though I often turned away for other things. So listen to his voice, obey him, always keep a clear conscience. Whenever the Lord points something out, let it go, give it up, no matter how small it seems. Nothing is worth losing his nearness. Nothing is worth making God sad. The best thing that you can do is make God happy. And the worst tragedy in your life would be to make him sad. So hate the things that make God sad and love the things that make God smile. His smile upon you will be the truest source of joy and peace in all your life. And you cannot have God's smile without Jesus. So cling to him. He's promised us, if you search for me with all your heart, you will definitely find me. And he's promised that he will make God's plan known to us every single day. With Jesus, you don't have to be afraid. With Jesus, you can enjoy life to the very fullest. With Jesus, you can definitely make God smile. For a long time, I was afraid that it was impossible to make God happy. I was sure that I was destined to disappoint God. But Jesus has completely delivered me from that fear. Now, I'm excited to get to live for the Lord. I'm excited for his will to be done in my life. And I so want the same for you. I wish I could protect you from failures and fears and all the mistakes that I made. I wish that I had time to warn you of all the dangers there are out there, but I don't. And that's okay. I entrust you to the Lord. I know that he will lead you and warn you and help you and give you hope in ways that are far better than I can. All I can say is this: keep coming back to Jesus. He will help you just like he's helped me. He will give you all that you need. Don't be afraid. God has a wonderful plan for your life. Trust Jesus, seek Jesus, listen to his voice and follow him, and you will never be disappointed.
I still follow Jesus because he has changed my life, and he continues to do so. The verse that comes to mind is Psalm 56:13. He has delivered my soul from death, indeed my feet from stumbling, so that I may walk before God in the light of the living. What this means to me is that he has truly delivered me from the pit of death of my past. He's the only one who keeps me from falling each day, and he gives me true life and hope that my path in life will only grow brighter and brighter as I walk with him, no matter what circumstances come my way. Proverbs 4:18 says, "The path of the righteous is like the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day." Romans 8:28 says, "God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God." Not only has he saved me from a life of death, not only does he help me every day and give me hope for my future, but he has also proven himself absolutely faithful through his word. Verses in the Bible are coming true in my life, like Romans 6:14 that says, "Sin shall not be master over you." He has and is currently making roadways in my wildernesses, rivers in the deserts of my life, from Isaiah 43:19. I have experienced this to be true in my life. Isaiah 43:2-4 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they will not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be scorched, nor the flame burn you. I am the Lord your God. You are precious in my sight, and I love you." His grace has been sufficient for me. His power has been perfected in my weaknesses. 2 Corinthians 12:9. God is able to make all grace abound to me, so that always having all sufficiency in everything, I may have an abundance for every good deed. 2 Corinthians 9:8. Jesus is true to his word. That's why I still follow him. He is my Savior. He's my bridegroom. He's my helper. He believes in me, and he's always on my side. Has it been worth it? Yes, without a single doubt. Just like the old hymn says, when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first began.
Dear family, why still Jesus? Because he helps me remain in the presence of God. He doesn't just lead me, doesn't just take me there a few times. He helps me stay and live in the Father's presence forever. He's my example since he has the humility of a younger brother, the responsibility of an elder brother, yet he just acts like a normal brother in the church. This is the threefold mystery where he has to bear up his own cross, but spiritual glory is found in the joy set before him as he denies his will in these three things. In the same way, I have a hope for the glory as well, as 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 13 says, to the degree you share in the sufferings of Christ, keep on rejoicing, so at the revelation of his glory, you may rejoice and be overjoyed. I can be genuinely overjoyed, and it's true that God asks of me never to offer him that which costs me nothing. And it's true that whenever I offer meaningful sacrifices to God, I reach an end to myself and I become spiritually exhausted. But that is only when the greater liberty of his grace comes, and then only finally can I be genuinely overjoyed. The way of the cross is a harsh message, but even more extreme is the grace of God. I hope to follow his example. Why still Jesus? Because he endured in love until the end. He did not waver, but had a large heart for all. It's pride to be a silent person in the church, not having a genuine spiritual burden for others. I hope my life will be a blessing, despite the temptations to just hoard up God's grace and love for myself. I hope I'll overcome those temptations. Jesus said, I'm the light of the world. I can only use that light effectively if I put it on a lampstand for all to see. Not just for myself, because there's danger in just covering my light under a basket. Genuine love isn't contained in baskets. Some time ago, I was looking at some of my past mistakes and I regretted them. I thought it would be best for me just to spend the next few weeks analyzing them and deeply and learning from them. Although this is true to some extent, in doing so, I forgot all about the present trials God put me in addition to the great hope I had in Jesus for all future eternity. God doesn't will for me to focus in the past, but also to forget about the present and the future. There's no compromise in the Christian life, no middle ground. I made many mistakes in the past, but the only solution now is to accelerate. The only thing I can still do now is to speed up in the Christian life. I cannot forget about the present and the future, just for the sake of thinking about the mistakes I made in the past. My failures do not keep me from running to God, so I hope to continue confessing that love shines best on a lampstand for all to see. That is how I can endure in love till the end, just as Jesus did.